This is the STRIPSACK DUALCAST. I'm the Hawk.
Oh, we're on?
Yep.
And I'm the Fat Man. Let's get into it.
All right. Just remember, guys, we record every Friday, every Monday, and every Tuesday. We're going to have a special recording on Saturday. Can't wait to see what you guys think about that. Right into the recap here. Hawks 28, Cardinals 21. I'm really happy about this win. It was like a full team win. Defense looked great. Offense was efficient. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, Seattle's defense actually showed up. Big sack at the end of the game. There's that kid, I think his name was Diggs, laid a whack on that Roseanne's husband there, Tom Arnold, out there catching the ball. He cracked him, made the ball come squirting out. That was a nice play. Kind of gave me flashbacks to the Legion of Boom there. Maybe they're starting to get something going. Yeah,
Quandre's looked really good. He's like the one bright spot in that secondary. I still stand by that personal foul was not a personal foul. I mean, I saw the replay. He didn't hit him in the freaking head. He basically hit him with his hands, and then his shoulder contacted his shoulder pads. DeAndre Hopkins had a nice little sell.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a lot of questionable calls this evening. I know there was a big holding call they called in the beginning of the game that I did not see a hold on. And then the safety toward the end of the game where they called a holding on Arizona center. They called it as a safety, said it was in the end zone. It wasn't in the end zone. So I think the refs kind of flubbed it a little bit tonight.
Yeah, I feel like they were trying to help Vegas.
Definitely. And then there was that one play where Russ got smacked in the head and they didn't call that. So
it was a little tap. It looked way worse in full speed, but it wasn't that bad.
You can't hit a quarterback in the head.
Throw a flag. It's honestly like the third time in the last 2-3 games I've seen Russ get hit in the head, no call. But he's so damn short, he's always getting hit in the head.
Otherwise, we'll get Bobby Boucher out there, start powerbombing people.
All right, guys, let's get right into Sunday's picks here. Bengals, Washington. I'm going to take Washington in there. I got the comeback kid, Alex Smith. I really like that front seven, and the Bengals just have a really hard time keeping Burrow upright.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take Washington too. Like you said, I like that front seven. I like that defense. There's been a lot of investment in that defense. I just think they're a quarterback away, so they may suck this year, but in the next couple of years, they may get it turned around with a solid defense, and let's get some offense going. Up next, Falcons at Saints. I know Breeze is out. He got a couple cracked ribs, but I took the Saints anyway because, hey, why not? They're the top of that division, so let's see if Jameis could repeat what Teddy Bridgewater did last year.
I'm gonna go with the Falcons. They're coming off the bye, and you got turnover machine Winston. They're 3 of their last 4. Really liking the Falcons right now.
Come on, man. Jameis is just gonna be out there eating his dubs.
All right, Steelers at Jags. Steelers. I'm taking the Steelers, but I really think it's going to be a close one. I really think that Jake Luton, has some rejuvenation with that franchise. Like they're looking a lot better last couple weeks.
It's hard to pick against the Steelers. They're 9-0. They're looking like the best team in football. They're coming off a drubbing last week where they just pounded Cincinnati. You're right. Jake Luton gave that franchise some hope. Maybe there's some upside there. We'll see how it turns out in the future. Up next, Patriots at Texans. Fuck you, Bill Belichick. You better not be pulling out no shit coming up from behind and making everybody think you suck, and then all of a sudden winning the fucking division like you're gonna do. I took the Texans. I just went with my heart. I couldn't take the Patriots.
I took New England. I expect the Patriots to keep rolling. The Texans just haven't showed really any life this year, and I just don't see any of that changing. Eagles at Browns. This is a really tough choice. Because I don't like either team, so I'm just going to take the Browns because they have the better run game.
Yeah, I went ahead. I took the Browns. Come on, man. Baker's going to defend his house. He's already starting to make Thanksgiving dinner. Haven't you seen the commercials?
Unless it starts to rain, he's going to have to cover all 60,000 of those seats.
Lions at Panthers. Just because you keep saying Matty Ice, Matty Ice, Matty Ice, I took the Lions.
Yes, Matty Ice is so good. I took the Lions as well. There's possibly no Teddy B for the Panthers, and I just don't trust that offense regardless. Jets at Chargers. I'm taking the Jets. No, I'm just kidding. They suck. I'm definitely taking the Chargers, and the Chargers should win pretty big here. What do you got?
So I'm actually taking the Jets. They looked, they're playing better the past couple weeks. They're going to eke one out here sooner or later. I'm going with the Jets. Eventually, I'll be right. Up next, Dolphins at Broncos. Who loses to the Broncos? Not the Dolphins. Tua is going to be 4-0. Let's go.
I'm taking the Dolphins, but I'm not going to be surprised. I'm not going to be surprised if there's some karma with who loses to the Broncos, and it's the Dolphins. All right.
The Broncos are going to give him a game.
Cowboys at Vikings. I'm going to take the Vikings. That run game is just too good. Kirk Cousins has been really efficient lately. And the Cowboys, I know that their defense has been playing much better lately, but I think this is going to be a game where their defense gets exposed.
I like the Vikings as well. Kirk Cousins is coming off his first Monday night win. He's riding high. Dalvin Cook's a monster. Yeah, I'm taking the Vikings. So next game is one of our highlight games. We think it's going to be a really good game. Titans at Ravens. This was hard for me to pick. My initial reaction was Titans. But after thinking about it a little bit, I took the Ravens. I know I beat up on Lamar Jackson. I've beaten up on Ryan Tannehill way more in the past. The Ravens should win the game. It's that simple. Titans are on a big skid. I know they need to win, but the Ravens should win. Tannehill is averaging about 153 yards a game during the losing streak. Baltimore's defense should be able to hold him to around that or less because he sucks. And then the Ravens, they only give up about 110 yards against the rush. So if you're going to force Tannehill to win the game, Baltimore's going to win it.
Like you, this was tough. And I think that the Titans could establish that run game. Both defenses are kind of questionable. So it really comes down to the quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson or Ryan Tannehill. And I'm going with Lamar, and I'm picking the Ravens in this. Okay, Packers at Colts. I give the Packers shit because they can't beat a good team, and they're facing a good team. So, rightfully so, I should definitely pick the Colts to win. But that's not the case. I'm going to take the Packers. I think if they get up early, which they probably will, because Aaron is definitely a better quarterback than Phillip Rivers, and they'll just maintain that lead, and I think they'll beat them by about 7-10 points.
So I agree that Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than Phillip Rivers. I don't think there's no way to even have a debate about that.
Right.
But what I will say is I think the Packers rely way too much on Rodgers to Devontae Adams. So I don't like that. Indy gives up about 20 points a game. So they should be able to hold that Packers offense down a little bit. And the Colts defense is pretty stingy against the pass. They average about 198 yards a game against them. They're second in the league in defense against the pass. All that being said, I took the Colts because I think they'll slow the Packers down enough to win the game.
I almost want to go back on my pick.
But you can't debate. Rodgers is just, he's easy. You got 1, 2, 3 in the league, and Rodgers is in that 1, 2, 3 area. He's just a crybaby bitch that can't come back and win.
I don't know. I'm gonna, like I said, I want to take the Colts, but it's a tough pick regardless.
All right. Sunday night game. Chiefs and Raiders.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry, John. I still love you. I'm taking the Chiefs.
I thought for sure I would have put money on it you were taking the Raiders.
Man, I want to, but logic took over. I think the Chiefs are going to win the game. It's hard to beat a division rival twice in the same season, especially when both coaches are S-ranked coaches. So I think Andy Reid's going to get the win. Plus, they had some bulletin board material this week come up about the Raiders taking the victory lap. So I think Mahomes is going to come out and be on fire.
Yeah, Mahomes even had like a little statement on that. We'll be ready this time. What, were you not ready last time? Really? Were you really not ready?
They were coming off the Super Bowl hangover.
Oh, please. I am taking the Chiefs, even though I want to pick the Raiders. It's hard to beat a team twice. You know, Mahomes has been on fire, and the Raiders are having COVID issues right now. I don't even know who's going to be starting on that defense. So if that never came up, I was 100% picking the Raiders. I'm just letting everybody know that. I was going to stick by my gun saying that they were going to sweep the Chiefs, but I'm going to have to go back on that considering what's going on.
Maybe it's just some fake news, and they're doing it to rope the Chiefs.
They're getting in their heads, making them game plan against all their backups.
Yeah.
Then they won't be ready. That's what Mahomes is going to say. I wasn't ready to play their backups.
I wasn't ready to play their third string defensive lineman.
Yeah.
But it's hard for me to pick against John Gruden.
I know.
But it's even harder to pick against the quarterback like Mahomes with a coach like Andy Reid and a track team out there on offense.
You have no arguments with me. The offense is damn near impossible to stop. All right. Some BS. Adam Gase says they aren't trying to tank. What are your thoughts on that?
I think he better put some applications in at the local factories because after this season, he ain't going to get a coaching job anywhere. Bud, they ain't even going to want you to be a special teams coach. Sorry.
I mean, they may take you in Pee Wee.
But I don't know. No, nobody in New York will.
No.
Or Miami.
I just think it's great. You know, they're like, oh, nobody in the organization is talking about that. All right, cool. Listen, the organization knows that they're tanking, and that's by keeping Adam Gase as the head coach. If they were to get anybody else, this team substantially gets better. And I love his comments. Oh, we're just trying to get new guys in there, and we're trying some different things and seeing how that turns out. Yeah, great. You got Joe Flacco as your starting quarterback, and you got Frank Gore, who's 120 years old, running the rock. Yeah, there's some young guys over there making some plays.
You ease up on Joe Flacco, bud.
Listen, Wacko Flacco. All right, that's all I got. Wacko Flacco.
Sam Darnold is going to get traded next year anyway.
Yeah, probably. All right, moving on. Who has the better situation? Now, we've talked about, who the best rookie quarterback is, who's going to win, rookie of the year. I'm going to take Tua out of this argument and just ask you, who's got the better situation, Burrow or Herbert?
You just fucked my argument up, bud. You can't throw me a curveball like that.
I like throwing curveballs.
If you're going to throw me a curveball like that, Herbert's got a better situation. Cincinnati, Bungles, have that stigma for a reason. They're like Antonio Brown, can't get right.
Gotta unfuck yourself.
We've seen it for years, man. Like when they had Dalton out there slinging it around and Geno Atkins on the defensive line, and for some reason I can't think of their receiver's name right now.
AJ Green?
That's it. Playing lights out. Like that team was in the playoffs how many years in a row and got bounced out first game. Like they look like the best team in the NFL at times and get bounced off of the playoffs in the first round. You know, how they fumbled the Carson Palmer thing, where Carson Palmer just came out and said, I'm not fucking playing. I'll retire. That's it. Like, it just there's a lot of dysfunction around that Cincinnati team over the years that it makes it hard to say, all right, well, they got Burrow, they're going to do good. And I've said it a few times on the show here and to you in private conversations, like, you know, the problem with Burrow is he fucking plays in Cincinnati. If he was anywhere else, he's probably going to have a good career anyway, regardless, because if you're talented, you're talented. You'll have a good career. He's just never going to win anything because the putz is up there in Cincinnati.
Well, you kind of like took my argument.
Sorry.
Some
That's what you get for
curveball.
throwing me a curveball in the end.
But yeah, I mean,
You
you know,
steal all your points.
you look at Cincinnati, and you know they've had great quarterbacks, Carson Palmer and Andy Dalton when he was making Pro Bowls. And yeah, you're right. They get to the playoffs and get bounced out. But it also makes me believe that they're able to rebuild the organization and make another team. You know, so I would have to say that he's slightly in a better situation because the Chargers have been struggling the last few years, obviously because Rivers is getting old, but it's not all on Rivers. You know, they were the best team in AFC a couple times, and they get bounced out in the first round of their playoffs as well.
But remember, they were also an old team. The Chargers had a lot of old guys on that team the last few years. They were just hesitant to trying to go to it's hard to have a rebuild when you're still in playoff contention.
That's what happens when you have a franchise quarterback, though.
You know, and now they got, you know, let's face it, out of the three guys, the three quarterbacks that were taken at the top of the draft, Herbert was the one taking the latest. You know, I keep calling him San Diego. I just can't call him L.A. They were, you know, they had the 6th pick. So I think they're going to get something going now that they're getting a little bit younger. Yeah, they only have 2 wins this year, but I definitely think they got their quarterback. And they have a young running back too, Joshua Kelly. He's, you know, he might be decent.
The thing with the Chargers is they kind of got like this thing on them, like this hex. They can't close out games. I mean, they were the Falcons before the Falcons were the Falcons.
Yeah.
Like it's like a week-on-week basis. They get close and somehow find a way to lose. They always find a way to lose the game.
But part of that is being young. When you have a bunch of young guys out there that, you know, they're learning how to win. They're learning how to close out games. I can forgive them more than I can forgive Atlanta. Because a lot of those guys in Atlanta's roster have enough experience. You know, Julio is probably my favorite wide receiver. Matt Ryan, he's probably in the top 15 quarterbacks.
He's in my top 10, honestly. But yeah, you know, it's actually a really tough call between these two, but I'm gonna slightly lean to Herbert. I think they're both gonna have a pretty good career just going off of what we see already. You know, I honestly think that there's a chance that one of these guys will win a Super Bowl.
I think Herbert's going to be more of a stat monster.
Yeah, I agree. All right, man.
Who is going to win games?
Yeah, you wanted to talk about Tua so bad.
I know. I was all teed up for Tua, man. And then you go ahead and throw that curveball in there. Oh, we're not gonna include Tua.
Well, it's pretty obvious. Tua's got the best situation. He's got the best defense. He's got the best team. The only thing he doesn't have is a legit number 1 wide receiver.
No, he doesn't. And that's been a problem in Miami for a while.
I mean, Devontae's good, but
he's a number 2 on 20 other teams in the NFL.
Jarvis, come back.
Jarvis, all right, buddy. Even Jarvis is a number 2, though.
Like, Jarvis is a number 2.
He's not really a number 1. You know, you got to go out there and get yourself let's make a trade for CeeDee Lamb. I'd take that in a heartbeat.
All right, before we talk for another hour about how much you love your Dolphins now.
Listen, if I could sit here week after week and listen to you go on and on and on about the goddamn Seahawks every week, it's my time to shine after all the suckery I've put up with in Miami.
With that said, I am done. What do you got?
All right, guys. So you're watching us on the YouTubes. Make sure you hit subscribe, like, comment. I'm still waiting for all my shit talkers. One or two of you is piped off. Everybody else is quiet like little church mice running around out there. Give us some ideas. Let us know what you want to hear about. We don't want to just come out here and beat it up Adam Gase every week and babble about this shitty-ass Seahawks defense. They finally played one game. Whoa, they're the best team in the NFL. See, there's that salty hawk. We also put this out on audio. So Anchor, Spotify, iTunes. Make sure you're giving us a listen because our listens in that route have significantly dropped off. What else you got, Hawk?
I've got nothing other than Tua sucks. Remember, guys, comment, like, subscribe. I'm the Hawk.
And I'm the Fat Man.
Bye.